So, welcome back. So, we are in the next session of the unit number 4 of basic civil engineering of linear and angular measurements. Okay. Okay. So, in today's session, we are going to see the further part of chaining. Okay, in which the ranging operation is there. Then, what are the types of ranging? In that there are two types, direct and indirect ranging. So indirect ranging is also known as reciprocal ranging. Okay, then ranging, what are the different codes of signals, okay, how it is to be brought at the center, that ranging rods. Then offsetting and certain important points in chaining, ranging and offsetting, so which we are going to conclude all the points of chaining, ranging and offsetting. Okay, so starting with ranging. Okay, so what do you mean by ranging? That we have seen previously only. So we'll see here. So when a survey line is longer than a chain length, it is necessary to align intermediate points on chain line so that measurements are along the line. Okay. Means what? As we have seen that while measuring a distance between, suppose A and B are the 2 points, and we are having a chain length either 20 meter or 30 meter. Okay, but suppose the distance is more than 100 meter, or it is coming out somewhat in 105, 1110, or it is suppose 130 meter, like that. So in that case, it becomes necessary to plot intermediate points. Okay, because at the time we can measure at least 20 meter or 30 meter only. So in order to measure the entire distance, we are supposed to do the ranging operation. So in that, first ranging rod is fixed, and at the end, second rod is been fixed, and intermediate points are been marked by ranging operation. Okay, so that it becomes easy to measure the distance between them. So the process of locating intermediate points on survey line is known as ranging. So survey line is nothing but on which we are going to locate the said chain in order to measure the distance, or it might be tape also. So there are two methods of ranging, namely that is direct ranging and reciprocal ranging, or which is also known as indirect ranging. Okay. So we'll see one by one. Direct ranging. Okay. So here you can see. So these 2 points are there. Okay. So which is supposed to be measured. That is nothing but linear measurement. So this is nothing but a straight line. And this curved line, we cannot call it as a said straight line. Okay, so all the points should come in straight line so that whatever the distance we can measure it. Okay, so for that, what we are supposed to do, we are supposed to set up the ranging rod. We have seen that ranging rod is nothing but which has been placed at the initial and the end point of each and every chain or survey line. Okay, so it should be hold exactly perpendicular. Okay, and you can release the plumb bob so that it becomes exactly perpendicular to the ground surface. So it should not be held in this manner, that is in the inclined manner, because it becomes difficult to bring all the ranging rods in a straight line. Okay, so there are chances of getting error. So right position of holding the ranging rod is like this. Okay, that is exactly perpendicular to the ground surface. So now take an example. This A and B are the 2 points on the ground of which we are supposed to measure the distance. Okay, so A and B are been marked. At A, first ranging rod is been fixed, and at B, second ranging rod is placed. Okay, then a person at A will stand an intermediate person, okay, who is going to hold a second ranging rod, will stand at intermediate position at any of the distance from A, so that whatever are the instructions given by the said A person, according to that, this person who is standing in between this line, survey line AB, will come exactly in a straight line, so that the points A, C, and B are in a straight line. Okay. So you can see here, so he is giving certain left direction. Okay. So that sign conventions also we are going to see that symbols are there, certain sign conventions. Okay. So right now you can see that C point is not on a straight line. So he's giving certain sign conventions. Okay. So correspondingly, for locating the other ranging rod, again sign conventions will be given. Okay. So afterwards, okay, by giving, if the ranging rod person who is at the intermediate point is on the left hand side, the person who is going to stand at A will move his right hand. Okay, right hand in swinging manner. Okay, so to come from left to right. So suppose if it is on the right hand side, he will move the left hand side. Okay, and according to that, the intermediate points C and D will be marked. Okay, so when these points are in a straight line, the person who is standing either at A or C correspondingly will tell the correspondingly ranging rod person who is handling that to stop there and fix it in the ground. So in that way, A, C, D, and B, all these points will be in a straight line. Okay. So there are certain ranging code of signals. So that I told you. So that is nothing but signal by the surveyor. Okay. So surveyor, who is that? So who is going to stand at A point and meaning of the signal to the assistant. So who is going to stand at? Just a minute, I will show you. Okay. So whomsoever is standing at A or B, so that will be correspondingly surveyor, and assistant is nothing but who is going to stand at D or C. Here you can see. Okay, so he is the surveyor and he is the assistant. So according to that, so suppose he is holding his moving his left hand. So according to that, as he is facing towards him, so he is supposed to move on the right hand side. Okay, like that. So certain sign conventions are there. Okay, so you can see the signal given by the surveyor is rapid sweep with right hand. So what is the meaning of that? Move considerable towards left. Okay, so when the person is on the actually left hand side, so correspondingly that person who is the surveyor will move his right hand side, so that the assistant who is holding the ranging rod will move in the left hand direction and come in a straight line. So slow sweep with right hand means slowly you are supposed to move towards the left. Then right arm extended, so continuously move towards left. Okay, so whenever he is going to move, he is going to extend his right arm, then the person who is the assistant, he is going to move towards the left, then right arm up and move to the right, so it is nothing but the plumb the rod towards left. So according to that, it is towards the left, and both hand above head and brought down, so that is ranging is correct. Okay, and both arm extended horizontally and brought down quickly, so that is fix the ranging rod. So here you can see, so this is nothing about the sign convention, so that he is going to tell that it is okay and fix the ranging rod on the ground. Okay, so I will show you the video. Okay, so that we have seen here. Just a minute. Okay, so here you can see actual ranging which has been done on the ground. Okay, so I am standing here, that is the point A, and another is B point, which is on the ground. And these two persons are going to be going to locate with respect to the sign conventions which are given by the follower here. And as per that, they are going to move. Okay. So sign conventions are given. Okay. So you can see left hand side. So his person who is going to stand on the right hand side is moving towards the left. Okay. So according to that, this ranging rod person is moving. Okay. So when all these 4 points are in a straight line, so that points will be marked on the ground. And according to that, okay, you can see here the measurement of distance will be done. Okay. By laying down the chain or the said tape. Okay. Up to the last point. So that is regarding the ranging. Coming to the next, that is indirect or reciprocal leveling. So whenever there is a presence of an intervening ground, okay, that is if there is a presence of a high ground between the end points. So right now in the ranging, that is direct ranging, both the A point and B points were intervisible from each other. So they will be visible. Okay, so that we have marked the intermediate points C and D in between that. But suppose A and B are not visible from each other. So in that case, we are supposed to go with the indirect or reciprocal leveling operation or ranging operation. Okay, so here you can see A and B are the 2 points, so which are not visible from each other, so that are intervisible. And correspondingly, M and N are the 2 points, so by which respect to which we are going to make the ranging operation, so that all these points A, M and N are all in the straight line. Okay, so what procedure we are going to do? So this is a sectional view of a hill or high ground in between the end points A and B. Okay, and this is the plan. Okay, so here you can see, so a person will be standing at A, first person. Okay, second person will be standing at the end of the survey line, that is B, and intermediate persons, okay, holding 2 ranging rods will be standing at M1 and N1. Okay, so now what procedure we are going to follow? So these are nothing but the assistants. M1 and N1 are nothing but the assistant. Okay, so we are supposed to give the instructions to them such that the assistant at point M1 can see A as well as B from this position, and correspondingly N1 can see the ranging rod at A and that of B. Okay, so these are standing at such a position that so that they are intervisible from each other. So now N1 assistant who is there will tell the person who is standing with the ranging rod at M1 to move towards a position at M2, so that A, M2 and N1 are in a straight line. So from N1 position, he can see the ranging rod at A and that of B. Okay. Then what he is going to do? So the person who is going to stand with the ranging rod at M2 will assist N1 person who is standing at N1 to come in the below direction, so that he can see the line or the ranging rod at B, so that from M2 position A ranging rod is visible and that of B is also visible. So likewise, such procedure is been followed unless and until all these lines, that is A, M, N and B, are clearly in a straight line. Okay, so you can see here, you can get an idea. Okay, so A is the first starting point of the chainage and B is the another point of the survey line. Okay, so due to the presence of a hilly ground or high ground, so they are not been intervisible. Okay, so here you can see in the plan. Okay, and this is nothing but the sectional view. Okay, so due to the presence of the hill in between them, so they are not been intervisible. So what we are going to do? So this C1 and D1 persons will be standing in between them, A and B, and according to the guidelines given by A and correspondingly B. So this C1 and D1 are the assistants holding ranging rods will come in a straight line, so that they will be in a straight line, that is A, C, D and B, all these lines. Okay. So the person who is going to stand at A will assist D1 and tell that whether this all these points are in straight line or not. Okay. Then correspondingly, according to that, he will tell the C1 person to come for move forward, so that A, C2, D1 and B are being intervisible. Then C2 will be fixed. Then correspondingly, from B position, he will assist the D1 ranging or person to move in the forward direction, so that C2, D2 and B are in a straight line. So likewise, the procedures is been followed unless and until this A, C, D, B are in a straight line. Okay. So that is regarding indirect ranging operation. Okay. So you can get a clear idea. So right now they are in a straight line. So in the plan also you can see that A, C, D, B are in a straight line. Okay. Okay. Now moving towards the next point, offsetting. Okay. So what do you mean by offsetting? So that is nothing but lateral measurements to chain lines for locating ground features are known as offsets. So till now we have seen that correspondingly, whatever are the distances that only linear measurements were been taken, and that is in a straight line. Okay. But other than which were at left and right hand side, that markings or the measurements were not taken into consideration. So that lateral measurements to the chain lines. Okay. So in order to locate the correspondingly whatever are the features that are being present on the left hand side and that of the right hand side of the chain line, in order to locate that, offsetting is been done. Okay. So according to the direction and length, there are two types. So it might be perpendicular offset or oblique offset. So perpendicular offset means what? Perpendicular to your chain line, and oblique means certain angular measurement is there other than 90-degree. And according to length, that is short offsets and long offsets. Okay. So we'll move further. So for perpendicular offsets using cross staffs, so these are the three instruments, that is open cross staff, open French cross staff and optical square, which are being used for marking the perpendicular offsets. So correspondingly we will see one by one how the open cross staff looks like. Okay. So here you can see the actual image of the open cross staff. Okay. So which is been mounted over said small ranging rod. Okay. So it is also known as a pole. So which has been fitted with an iron shoe at the bottom. Okay. So basically it comes like this, which is to be fitted over a pole. So this open cross staff consists of 4 metal arms. So you can see here there are 4 metal arms. So with vertical slits. Okay. So vertical slits are there. So two pairs are there. So which are at right angles, and the vertical slits are meant for sighting the objects and the ranging rod. So correspondingly, one person will be standing on one side and another person will be here in order to mark the perpendicular. So you can see here opening is there. Okay. So here correspondingly, in order for setting out a perpendicular on a chain line, the cross staff is held vertically at the approximate position. Okay. And correspondingly through the slits. Okay. So the person who is going to stand here is going to bisect the ranging rod which is in a forward direction, and according to that the person who is going to stand it here going to place the ranging rod, okay, or mark the position of the ranging rod so that it becomes 90-degree angle. Okay. So we'll see one example, actual video I will show you, just a minute. Okay. So here you can see that open cross staff is there. Okay. So the person who is going to stand it here, going to bisect this ranging rod first of all. Okay. So this all the lines are all these points are in a straight line. So now in order to do the offset, okay, so this is nothing but the prism corresponding open cross staff which is mounted over a pole. So you can see here certain sign conventions are there, and the person is holding a second ranging rod in front of this so that it becomes a 90-degree. Okay, so he's giving certain sign conventions. You can see here. So move in the right hand direction or in the left hand direction so that it makes an perpendicular. So when it comes at exactly 90-degree angle, okay, so correspondingly you are going to stop and tell the person to stop it and mark it. Okay, so when it comes exactly, okay, so that is nothing but offsetting by using the said open cross staff. Okay, so similarly this is nothing but the French cross staff. So in which other than 90 degree, suppose there is an object which is at a 45 degree or 135 degree. So in such a case, other than 90 degree, for plotting the offset, you can go with the instrument French cross staff. Okay. And next one is the optical square. So this is also an instrument which is used for setting out the right angles. So it consists of a small circular metal box of diameter 5 centimeter and depth of 1.25 centimeter. Okay, so it has a metal cover which slides around the box to cover the slits. Okay, so here you can see two mirrors are there. Okay, so which makes us to bring both the ranging rods at 90-degree. So we are going to see it later on optical sphere. Okay, so we'll see one by one here. So this is nothing but perpendicular offset. So this is the chain line. Okay, so this is the chain line A, B, and this is the corner point of the building. So by making of the open cross staff, we are going to mark this. Okay, so open cross staff will be placed at D point. It will be bisected either at B ranging rod or at A, and correspondingly, the ranging rod which is being placed at C, it will be marked. Okay, and this distance from A, what is the distance AD, and whatever is the distance CD, that will be noted down in the field book. When it is an oblique, okay, so as I told you, other than 90-degree, so in that case you can go for French cross staff also. Okay, so from 2 points you are going to mark the corner point of the building. So that is nothing but said your oblique cross staff. Okay, that is nothing but oblique measurements or oblique offsets. So correspondingly they are being taken when the objects are at a long distance from the chain line or when it is not possible to set up a right angle due to some difficulties. So that is nothing but dealing with the oblique offsets and perpendicular offsets, so that are lateral measurements taken perpendicular to your chain line. Okay, so here you can see, so whenever there are correspondingly irregular surface is there or boundary is there, irregular boundary line is there. Okay, so in such a case the number of offsets are increasing. Okay, so when the boundary of the object is approximately parallel to the chain line, so perpendicular offsets are being taken at regular intervals. You can see, so regular intervals are there and these offsets are being taken. When correspondingly boundary line is a straight one. Okay, so here you can see there is wire fencing and it is a straight line. So in such a case we can directly take the offsets at directly starting and the end point because it is a straight line. But suppose there is somewhat like this zigzag manner it is there, so we are supposed to, with respect to chain, so we are supposed to take the offset here, then here, at top here, then again here. So number of offsets are increasing, so you can say that whenever there is a straight line, you can only number of offsets to be taken are two, that is at the starting and the end point. Whenever it is having certain zigzag or irregular boundary line, so you are supposed to take the offsets at regular intervals. Again, you can see here, so when the building is large, okay, zigzag in shape and oblique to the chain line, so then the corners are been fixed, okay, by perpendicular or oblique offsets, and the full plan of the building is drawn on a separate page along with the dimensions. Okay, so here you can see like this it has been done. And next one, whenever there is a circular, okay, so whenever such circular object is there, so in which perpendicular offsets are taken at short and regular intervals, okay, like this also it is there. So there are certain limiting lengths of offsets, okay, so whatever is the length of your tape, up to that only we can take. So it is not that offset should be more than 10 meter or 15 meter, because we are knowing the length of the tape is 20 meter or 30 meter, 50 meters is also there. But what happens, there are certain chances of getting, you cannot plot it on the field book, okay, so we are going to take a certain scale. So moving to the next point, that is optical square, okay. So this is also an instrument that is nothing but used for offsetting. So as I told you, correspondingly, this consists of a small circular metal box of diameter 5 centimeter, okay, and depth of 1.25 centimeter, and it has a metal cover which slides around the box to cover the slits, okay. So now what is been done? So this optical square is been fixed, okay, over the said. It can be mounted over a said pole, or it can be mounted over a said tripod stand. And in order to make the perpendicular offsetting, okay, so one is going to bisect the image of the A ranging rod, and at the bottom part, the second part of the ranging rod which is there, it is going to be seen. So here you can see, so A is on the left hand side and correspondingly D is on the right hand side, so it is not a right angle. So you are going to tell the person so that the bottom part of the ranging rod will be exactly lying over the said D, so that image is going to be seen in the mirror which has been provided here, okay, in the case of optical square, okay. So moving further, there are certain obstacles obstructing while both ranging and chaining. So we will see one by one. So during the ranging, so it should be chaining free vision obstruction should be there. Okay. Then obstacle to chaining, it is chaining obstructed vision free. Then obstacles to both ranging and chaining. Okay. So I will tell you uh, certain examples. Okay. So here you can see, so there is presence of the pond. Okay, so here is we cannot do the ranging operation and also we cannot do the chaining operation. So in such a case, we are supposed to take a reference of a separate point, and with respect to that, we are supposed to go on measuring this chaining operation. Okay. So again, in order to do the ranging operation, so instead of a point, I can take here exactly by perpendicular offsetting. Again, instead of B, I can take it here and measure this distance. And whenever there is presence of a building in between the survey line, likewise again I can take the perpendicular offsets and measure the distance. Okay, so these are the certain obstacles or during chaining and ranging. So moving further, we are going to conduct one practical, that is chaining, ranging and offsetting. Okay, so before that I will show you the offsetting video. So here you can see the video. Okay, so correspondingly, this is the actual image. Okay, animation. Okay, so these are the objects which have been present. Water tank, home, trees are there, light poles are there. Okay, and this is the AB, which is the survey line. So you can see the perpendicular offsets distances are being taken with respect to this survey line. And whatever are the offsets you are going to take it, you are going to note it down in the said separate book is there, which you called as a field book. Okay. So it might be a single line field book or it might be a double line field book. Okay. So when you are going to represent on the notebook, so you are supposed to make use of certain legends. So what is the pole, tree, building, home, or water tank? So first of all, you are going to mark the AB line and then to the scale, and you are going to whatever the distances you are measured. Okay, that is here one. What is the distance? This D2, D1, D3, D4, whatever are the distances that you have measured perpendicular to the chain, that you are going to locate on the drawing sheet. Okay, to the scale and represent what is exactly located there. Okay, so here there is a building. Okay, then there is a water tank. So likewise, you are going to represent all the things. Okay, and this is the said sketch we are going to draw for the first practical, that is chaining, ranging, and offsetting. So this is the starting point of chain A, and this is the end point, that is chainage. Okay, so what we are going to do, first of all, we'll fix the points A and B. Okay, and correspondingly we'll do the ranging operation, that is direct ranging operation. Okay, and locate the intermediate point so that we can lay down the chain and measure the distance A to B. So now that is chaining and ranging. So next step is of offsetting. Okay, so what we are going to do, so this is the object which is been present on the right hand side. Okay, so here you can see there is a curve one. So I'm going to keep my open cross staff at point here and second ranging rod here, and measure this, bisect this corner edge with the help of open cross staff, measure this D1 distance and L1 distance. Again, another point of the corner point of the garden, by keeping the open cross staff, I am going to bisect the ranging rod at A or B and bisect the ranging rod here and correspondingly measure the distance from A to D2 and L2. Likewise, this corner edges. So here is also one garden part. Okay. So likewise, whatever points are there on the left and right hand side of the said center survey line, that distances we are going to locate it. So that is nothing but your offsetting. So this will be the final sketch after you are going to draw it on the drawing sheet. Okay, and locate whatever are the things there. Okay, so here it is way to concrete technology laboratory, way to strength of materials laboratory, so entrance of civil engineering department. Okay, so these distances you are going to locate it. Okay. Now moving further. So as I told you that whatever are the links that we are taken, we are going to locate it on the field book. Okay. So this field book is nothing but one kind of notebook in which field measurements are noted. Okay. So which we called as a field book. So the size of this such field book is 20 centimeter by 12 centimeter. Okay. So which opens in lengthwise. Okay. So 20 centimeter is like this horizontal. Okay. So I'll just mark it here. So it is in the rectangular manner like this. So here it is 20 centimeter and 12 centimeter. So it opens like this. Okay. So whatever are the field readings we are going to take it, that we are going to write it here in this said field book. Okay. So there are two types of field book. One is single line field book and second one is the double line field book. So here you can see in a single line field book, a single center line is been marked and whatever are the offsets are there that are been represented. So whether it is oblique or it is a perpendicular offsets that are been marked here on a center line. Second one is nothing but double line field book. Okay, so in such double line field book, there are two lines which have been marked. Okay, so which are 1.5 centimeter apart and drawn through the middle of the each page. So the column represents the chain line, the chain edges. Okay, this column represents the chain line, chain edges, corresponding written, and the offsets which are been recorded. So that are been drawn to a neat sketch on the left. Whatever on the offsets or objects are on there on the left hand side or on the right hand side, they are been marked there. Okay. Correspondingly, the main stations are been marked by triangular positions and changes are been located. Okay, so whatever are there, and subsidiary stations are been also been marked, and this basically most of the times this double line field book is only used. Okay, so there are certain important points that one should know what are to be followed during the chaining, ranging, and offsetting. So first one, maximum tolerance in a 20 meter and 30 meter chain is nothing but plus or minus 5 mm and 8 mm tolerance can be done. That is, whenever the distance you are going to measure it with the help of 20 meter or 30 meter chain, so plus or minus 5 mm distance, if there is a increase or decrease, it can be tolerated, or plus or minus 8 mm in the case of 30 meter chain. So that based upon that we are going to solve the problems. Then while measuring the horizontal distance with chain on hills, it is better to measure the distance by stepping down slope. Okay, so in such a case what happens, we are going to when you are going to make use of the said tape or chain. Okay, so suppose there is a like this slopy ground, so correspondingly this is the D1 point and this is the D2 point which you are supposed to measure it. So one ranging rod will be held at here point and another here. So a straight line up ranging rod will be hold and correspondingly plumb bob will be released so that the ranging rod is in a perpendicular. So you can measure this distance with the help of the tape like this. Then again I will place a second ranging rod, and from this position I'll hold it so I can measure this L2, and finally from this point L3. So likewise on a slopy ground I can measure this distance. Okay, that is addition of L1, L2 and L3. So that is stepping down slope. Next, chainage in survey means the distance of the object along the chain line from the zero end of the chain. Okay, so correspondingly you are supposed to measure distance carefully. So the allowable length of an offset depends upon the degree of accuracy required, then method of setting out the perpendicular and nature of ground, scale of plotting. Okay, so as I told you, whatever the readings you are going to take it, that we are going to plot it to a certain scale on the field book. Next, so in chain surveying, field work is limited to linear measurements only. So till now we are not taken any kind of angular measurements. So this field work is limited to the linear measurements only. Okay, so between the two objects, whatever is the distance, we are supposed to measure with respect either by the chain or with respect to tape. So the accuracy of measurement in chain surveying does not depend upon general layouts of the chain lines. Okay, so accuracy is not more in chain lines. So the double line field book is most commonly used for recording ordinary chain survey work, and offsets are measurements made with respect to main survey lines in which line may be oblique or perpendicular that we have seen. And correct methods of ranging employed to solve the problem of vision obstructed are reciprocal ranging or random line method. So that was the part of chaining, ranging and offsetting, in which we have seen how the practical work is to be done, how the work in the field is being done. Okay. So in the next session, okay. So in the next section, we are going to solve the problems based upon how the said uh, chainage distance is to be measured. Suppose the distance measured by a 20 meter was coming out to be 103 meter, and when the distance was been measured with the help of said 30 meter, it was found out to be 101 meter. So what is the error in 30 meter or 20 meter chain. Okay. So likewise, we are going to solve the problems, what corrections are to be made, or there are chances that it was told that initially only the distance which was been measured, it was wrong. So what should be the actual measurement? So that points we are going to cover in the next session. Okay. So we'll stop it here. Thank you.